Head, Senator.
Akala ko ba ang ICI is an independent body? Pagka independent, gagawin niya sa sarili niya, di ba? Tama.
Opo, ang ano po is yung
Teka
pagtulong.
muna,
Opo,
sumagot ka lang.
opo, Senator.
Independent, di ba?
Opo.
Ba't kinakailangan siyang humingi ng tulong sa mga fiscal ninyo, prosecutors? That is not being independent.
Okay.
Tama?
We submit to your wisdom, Your Honor.
Of course. Kasi nga, tingnan mo yung creation niya. It should be an sa pangalan pa lang, independent, ano na yun, Che? ICI. Independent Commission on Infrastructure. Pag binasa mo yung kanyang mga powers, di ba? This is something that also the senators will, one way or the other, discuss probably in the course of time. Sabi niya, upon request, it can obtain information from the House of Representatives, the Senate, the courts, the Ombudsman, and other authorities. So paano yun? Bakit ka independent? And dami mo namang nagre-request ka kung kani-kanino eh. Can the Senate refuse, for example? In observance of the separation of powers. Halimbawa, nag-request siya, address to the Senate President. Wala pa kaming choice. Because there are institutional boundaries. We need to exercise the system of checks and balances. So sasabihin niya, Independent Commission on Infrastructure. Paano kang independent eh? Ang dami mong kinakasangkapan, hingi ka ng hingi. You should obtain the information by yourself, all alone. Yun ang independent. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Is the DOJ still investigating flood control projects through your task force?
Yes, sir. We still are conducting investigations, like I said, with the assistance of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay. And yun ang ano ko, yun yung instinct ko, baka magkaroon ng duplication, baka you might be investigating the same personalities and filing the same cases to the Ombudsman. And of course, ayaw natin magkaroon ng conflict between the two investigations. That's also another aspect that we are also looking at here in the Senate through the Blue Ribbon Committee. No? We're very mindful of that, no? Na hindi magkaroon ng duplication or conflict. But in your case, since may dalawang body na, there's a danger na magkaroon ng conflict through duplication or looking at the same personalities but different lenses.
Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Chair, the department also, with the task forces that are tasked to conduct investigations into the flood control projects, work with representatives from the ICI. So they are present also in the meetings that we would have with the National Bureau of Investigation. So they are informed real time as to the investigations that we are doing. And in addition to that, whatever the results are of our investigation is furnished the ICI, just so that there will be no duplication in the investigations that will be conducted.
The primary jurisdiction on investigating a particular, let's say, personality or particular, kasi ang dami, no? We're talking about if the information yesterday is accurate, there are about 421 ghost projects all over the country investigated by the Department of Public Works through different agencies. No? Merong AFP, merong iba-ibang grupo na ginamit sila. So, in each of those 421 is a case itself. Tama? No?
Chair.
Diba? So, how do you delineate the line kung ito iniimbestigahan na ng ICI, dapat hindi na namin imbestigahan to, o itong personality kausap na nila? How do you now delineate or divide the line
Well,
between the two?
Mr. Chair, even the Department of Public Works and Highways, which is the agency which has a lot of investigations to be conducted on, we also coordinate with them, no? And in fact, we even secure documents from them, try to get and gather evidence that will be used in the cases that we build up. Now, we are aware of the investigations being conducted by the Department of Public Works and Highways, and that is also the reason why when we sit down and meet, no, with our counterparts from the National Bureau of Investigation, the DPWH representatives are also there, just so that we are aware of the investigations that they are conducting or looking into, the personalities who are involved. And we compare our notes and exchange notes. In fact, we get some help from them, and they also secure some documents from us, just to make sure that we're not tackling the same case which is being investigated by both agencies, Your Honor.
Manner, I heard you earlier na merong tao ang ICI sa DOJ. Doon sa, I would assume doon sa task force nyo. Just to make sure that they're in the loop on real time.
They are not assigned with the Department of Justice, but they do attend, and we notify and inform them every time there's a meeting of the task force of the Department of Justice and the National Bureau of Investigation. Yusek Andres would be able to expound on it, sir.
Yeah, in the same manner, DOJ also has a representative in the ICI to know which items are they investigating, which personalities are they looking at.
Earlier, sir, Secretary Vida mentioned that we have also prior coordination with the ICI, as in fact, ICI has also requested for assistance from the department to have our prosecutors help out, no, in the technical working groups. The purpose of which is also for us to have access and knowledge of the investigations which are being conducted, the witnesses who are being interviewed, to see if they can also be of help in the cases that are being developed by the Department of Justice.
So go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, just to put some context on the matter, even prior to the constitution of the ICI, because this is our main mandate under the DOJ, and we tasked the National Bureau of Investigation to do the initial investigations, we already directed all our regional directors of the NBI to conduct investigation on their respective areas. So even before the ICI was constituted, we already had some groundwork. That's why we were able to file 5 cases immediately with the Ombudsman, referring to 5 cases in Bulacan, because we did this. Now, when the ICI commenced its investigation, and we gathered that they have already determined, with the help of the AFP and the police officers, the PNP, that there are 421 ghost projects, and they have identified the exact places and the contracts covering this. We likewise disseminated the 421 to the projects, to the regional offices of NBI to do follow-up work with the DPWH. So even before the ICI was constituted, our office already took the initiative to do the investigation because we believe it's our primary mandate. And even the meetings with the DPWH were already conducted to understand the work process and document approval flow, so that this will be the basis of the malversation cases, anti-graft cases. And we have practically completed it. And if I may actually explain the challenge that we are having presently, it's actually access to the whistleblowers. Because they are in detention because of the contempt charges, we are not given ready access, and we have to coordinate. It would be most helpful for the DOJ to complete its investigation if the witness protection program already admits them as protected witnesses, and we can have direct access to them at any given time, and they will have access to their own documents and people that they need to talk to complete the investigation. So we are hoping that when we process the documents of the possible whistleblowers who can be admitted formally, because they are just now provisionally accepted, the custody would be allowed to the WPP, and that would enhance the case build-up process.
So to date, ilan ang na-file na cases pertaining to the flood control? Ilan ang na-file
With the ombudsman, I think there are five.
There are five
Okay.
Five.
And these are all
ghost projects.
the ones
Those
in Bulacan.
Bulacan.
All five are the ones
That's correct.
pertaining to
That's correct,
Bulacan. Okay. And then are you still investigating the others that came out?
Yes.
Yung 421 and yung 421, goso lang yun. Iba pa yung substandard.
Yes.
Na may mga
We
substandard.
have a steady stream of completed investigations that we are now filing before the ombudsman for the conduct of preliminary investigation. And the ombudsman may choose to refer the preliminary investigation to the DOJ as consistent with the memorandum of agreement mentioned by OIC-BIDA.
Are you also investigating, yung sinabi nga kanina ni Senator Marcoleta, yung mga politicians involved? Is that part of your
Yes, Your Honor,
investigation?
we are following through on the leads given by the whistleblowers, the congressmen involved, and even some senators involved. And we are pursuing the case, but we are very circumspect about this. We already filed through the assistance of the AMLC freeze orders for those we believe should already be prosecuted in court. And we have secured 6 freeze orders already. That includes the officials of DBWH, some of the contractors, and some of those involved in the kickback mechanism.
Because that's an observation of mine is yung ICI, marami silang pinapatawag ng mga politicians, pinapatawag ng mga elected officials. I think yung kanilang angulo is more on the source of the funds. No? I think that is their angle. Based on my observation, this is purely based on my observation. Is that the difference between where DOJ is pursuing and between the ICI is pursuing in terms of angles?
I believe the latitude of ICI is wider. But for us, we do it systematically. We go to the process first. We understand the deviations of the process committed by the DPWH officials, and then this will lead to testimonies of possible proponents who intervened, why projects are allocated budget and ghost projects were implemented. And then only from there, we will conduct financial investigations. This is something that we have to do systematically, because once these individuals, the TPWH contracts are investigated, the names will now be subjected to financial investigation. And when there is a financial trail establishing links to the possible proponents, then we move ahead to the next steps.
And you said earlier that tuloy-tuloy yung investigation nyo
Yes,
ngayon.
Your Honor.
So I just want to understand, no? I'm sure a lot of the public wants to understand, saan ba yung line between the ICI and DOJ? No, that's the point I'm trying to make, because the ICI, like you said, has a wider latitude. In fact, based on the media reports, they also interview politicians, they also get information from elected officials. So it seems to me that their scope is wider to include the source of the fund, no? Allegedly. No? So that's I'm trying to understand
Yeah,
where's
but-
the delineation in this case, because we also want to make sure that there's efficiency, in terms of pursuing these cases.
Yeah,
No?
as earlier explained, the ICI representative sits in at times to observe what we are doing. And we just try to avoid duplication so that we make more efficient use of resources.
And also conflict.
Obviously,
I think
yes,
the
yes,
conflict
yes, Your
will
Honor.
not be fruitful for government. The conflict will be, in fact, beneficial to those who committed the crimes, kasi conflict creates confusion as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. So let's leave it at that. No, I just want to make sure that there's that the coordination and the delineation is very clear between these two bodies, which are very important in these times. No? Senator Marcoleta.
Thank you, Chair. Prosecutor, sabi mo kanina meron kayong na-identify na 421 ghost flood control projects.
It's not us who identified it, Mr. Chair. It's the Department of Public Works and Highways. It was-
421.
Sila po ang nag-identify, hindi po ang Department of Justice.
And,
Or with the help of the ICI po.
no, what I'm saying is, were you able to confirm that number na 421 talaga?
No,
of
sir.
course, they can always identify how much or how many. Pero na-confirm po ba ninyo?
Hindi pa po namin ako-confirm kasi what we're doing is we're having that information validated but the numbers can even increase, sir.
Kasi po, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, there are about 10,000 flood control projects. So, kung 421 ang sinasabi nila, could be less, could be more.
That is correct,
Ang
sir.
importante, tama naman po yung medyo naguguluhan kami kasi paano yung delineation nga naman, yung isa nagpapaka-independent pero they rely most on your prosecutors also and some of your agents. At baka nga naman pag walang proper delineation, at saka kung nagkaroon ng conflict, sino po yung, kunyari, yung findings po ninyo, mangyayari yun eh. There could be conflict in outcome. Sino magpiprevail? Kayo po yung ICI?
Hindi, so it would be the Office of the Ombudsman, sir. Sir, may I make a clarification po dun sa tanong po ninyo?
Hindi kasi bago nyo ibigay sa ombudsman, di ba kayong dalawa, sabi nyo, nagkakaroon kayo ng coordination eh. So,
Yes, sir.
how can it be coordination kung independent dapat sila? Yun ang punto eh. They should be independent no matter what. Kayo sana ay maaring tumutulong kayo in another capacity but in a manner that they can still maintain their independence. Hindi ganun ang nakikita namin eh. Baka nga ang mangyayari, conflict pa nga and then duplication or even conflict. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Chairman. And pwede ba kayong mag-file kaagad na diretso sa korte bypassing the Ombudsman?
It would appear that we could, sir, because there is a memorandum of agreement which allows us to handle, investigate cases involving individuals, salary grade below 27.
It's a memorandum of agreement between the DOJ and the Ombudsman.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Okay. Kailan po nangyari yun? Anong date yun?
2012 po.
2012?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yusek Andres, ano ba yung sabi nyo kanina, yung ibang nagawa nyo na naka-freeze kayo ng assets ng mga politicians. Sino-sino na pong mga politicians ang na-freeze ang assets?
I can give you the names, Your Honor, privately, but the majority of those subject of the freeze orders are
Bakit
not.
privately? Can you not divulge them?
I do not have right now
Okay.
copies of that. And if I may clarify, I think the freeze orders have not touched politicians. I mean government officials like DPWH officials
So sa-
are already part of the freeze orders.
Sa social media kasi nakikita namin may mga politicians na
Wala pa po.
na-freeze.
Wala pa po.
Wala talaga.
Government officials, meaning DPWH officials, yes.
O,
But
teka muna.
elected officials,
Yun
I
ang
do not-
sinasabi kong mga sapsap at saka butete lang eh.
We have to be systematic
Ang palagi
about
ko
it.
sinasabi, we should get to the bottom of this. Yung mastermind, yung pinakamalaking isda, yun ang dapat nating
We are
makuha.
being systematic and circumspect about this, Your Honor, but we are leading to that.
You're very optimistic, ha?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Pero tama nga, kailangan sabihin mo kay OIC Secretary na alisin na yung restitution na yun. Tama nga na. Nakita mo, naghihirap siya sapagkat ayaw ninyong ilagay sa witness protection. Magagamit niya pala eh. It will expedite his job eh.
Yes.